This is Coach Simple Real Estate. We are a coaching, onboarding, training, and accountability platform for real estate companies and their agents. Our platform basically integrates with your transaction management system, or you can hand enter transactions in our system. It works either way. We basically will integrate with any platform that has an API. So most likely the platform you're using will be able to be integrated. And so agent data will be available in the system in real time, and managers will be able to have meaningful conversations with the agents about that data at any time, just popping into their agent dashboard. We're going to review a number of different modules in our platform: onboarding, training, coaching, as well as our activity tracker, our goals and business planning tool, and the resource library. You can turn on or off any of these modules, or you can use them all. You can roll them out one at a time, or you can roll out a few at a time. It's up to you. Everything in the system that you see is a demo and fully customizable to your specific uses. So during the implementation process, it's a very simple, quick process, but we will customize, move around everything on the dashboards, relabel things as needed based on your data and your needs. Logging into Coach Simple, if you have multiple offices, you'll see all the offices represented. If you're a manager, you'll see just the office that you are part of, or if you're a manager of two, let's say 2 out of 5 offices, you'll be able to see those offices. I'm going to click into Atlanta just as an example. And now I'm in the Atlanta office. This also could be a team. So if you're a team with 3 or 4 agents, this would be your team and you would only see their data. Onboarding report will show you the onboarding program and where everyone is at in the onboarding program. We'll dive in and take a look at the details of that in a moment. Learning report, very similar. We'll tell you who has learning programs and where they are, if they've completed them or if they're past due. The business plan report will show you all of your agents, their goals for the year, their prior year numbers, and their year to date. So you can see how they're doing versus their goal. So as a coach, or manager, this will be something that you can have meaningful conversations about. If it's September and someone's 75%, they're probably in pretty good shape. If they're at 30%, that's a conversation that needs to happen. And reviewing the data is a great way to start having a conversation. Trends report will show you graphs of your whole office or team. And so you'll see this year versus last year. So any data that we're pulling into the system, you'll be able to see reports on that. And then we have the activity leaderboard. So if you're using the sales activity tracker, you can generate a leaderboard filtered by any date range you want. So let's say the last 30 days. Let's say you have a monthly contest in your office, and let's say you're tracking the number of appointments that are booked. And so you can have a contest, you can pull up the leaderboard and you can see who's pulling in the most appointments for that given period. I'm going to jump into Michelle to show you what would happen if you as a manager are having a meeting with Michelle and you want to look at her data. This is the agent dashboard. This shows you all the information that we have in our system. Once again, these boxes can be reordered or removed based on the modules you're using. So in a typical rollout of our platform, you'll see gross commissions. You'll see this year versus last year. You'll also see their goal. And so this is something that managers can enter their goal, or the agent themselves can just go in and enter their goal for the year. And then you'll see their progress versus their goal. As I scroll down, as the manager, you're going to see roll-ups of the sales activity tracker, as well as be able to, with the agent, enter their tracker information if it's something that you do internally. Most of the time, we have the agent themselves enter this data, or if possible, we'll pull it from the CRM or other platforms and just load the data in directly. So it depends on your specific configuration. These metrics, by the way, are totally customized to your specific needs. Some clients have 3 metrics that they include. Others have very customized specialty ones that is part of their culture of their organization. Some like to use our out-of-the-box system the way it is. So it's up to you in terms of which metrics you want to track. We can hide or remove any metrics. In addition, we have a point system that's optional that you can turn on. So as they're logging calls for the day, you can see that the points are adding up. And so if they go on 2 appointments for the day, they've achieved that goal of 2 appointments for today. They've also earned 20 points for the appointments plus 5 points for the calls. So as they're working through their day, if they make 25 calls and they did 10 social activities and they sent out a couple letters, they're getting points for all these. You set the point system up and you set the total that you want your agents to get to for the day. And so, basically, and then they probably sent, 25 emails. So they hit 100 points, so they accomplished the activities they needed for that day. So if you are using this, especially with new to business agents, you'll want to have them establish those good habits early on to build out their sphere of influence. And so having a tracker is helpful for that. In the onboarding section, we can go in and look at different samples of onboarding. So for example, you can have a video, you can also have text, any text you want. That's just one example. The onboarding program will be whatever you want it to be. This is your content. We'll help you load it in, but you can go in and edit, add, remove your own content in the onboarding program. This is an example of a questionnaire. Any questions you want to ask, again, it's kind of like a drag and drop designer. So really easy for you to build out different pieces of your onboarding program. I'm just popping into different examples to give you ideas. Read the company policies. You could download the PDF, check off that you've completed it. Another video. You can have links out to your different networks. So in this case, there's the Facebook and LinkedIn and your community profile. So these are all the things you want to link out to. You can have them upload files. So in this case, you can upload the bio, a resume, cover letters, photos, whatever it might be that you'd want them to upload into the system so that you have access to those files for each agent. So again, the outline, the structure, the topics that we put into the onboarding program, we can suggest items to you, but really it's your program and you're going to use the categories you want and fill it with the content that you either have or want to have in your system. It could be videos, PDFs, it could just be text, it could be form questions, it could be links out to other resources and other platforms, other media and other platforms, YouTube videos, Vimeo videos. So it really is a dynamic platform for you to build out. Both your onboarding and your training programs are using the same platform. So your training could also have different categories like transactions, buyer process, seller process, open houses, whatever your categories are, you can load those in, put your videos in there and make them easy for the agents to find and watch. You also have accountability of whether or not they've completed each of these items. And then the report, which we previously showed you, will show you which agents are actually watching the videos and going through the steps. In addition to onboarding, the agents might receive some tasks, either related to onboarding or related to the coaching process. I'm going to pop over to coaching and show you the coaching system. So your managers can use the coaching tab and enter notes related to conversations that they're having with the agent. And so we have a notepad here. We also have a private notes area, which you can use to put notes that won't get copied over to the agent. The agent will see anything in the shared box. They won't see anything in the private area. This would just be for your admins. In addition to the notes of your conversations, you'll also want to have some follow-up action items. The key value of these follow-up action items are if they're marked complete, that's great. But if they're not complete on this date or any date you toggle the date to, it will send an email notification to your agent on that date, reminding them of the item. So sometimes it's possible they've done the work that was discussed, but they didn't tell you about it. This is the email reminder that will ask them to do it. Other times these reminders will remind them to actually do the work. So it's very helpful to get those reminders. You'll also have a list of all of your prior coaching sessions and one-on-one sessions logged here, so you can open up any of these and review the notes and data related to that. For onboarding, we have two different types of onboarding. We have project tracking, and this would be the staff tasks, the tasks that are related to the onboarding process for your internal team. And so this is where, like, office admin might get 14 tasks that are related to things they need to set up. The managing broker might have a list of things they need to do, the digital marketing, and so on. So these categories can be set up to any categories that you want. If you compile a list of tasks that you want all of your different staff members to accomplish during an onboarding process, then you can just put that in Excel and we'll get that loaded in for you. Otherwise, we'll have you use the admin tool and build out your own program. but you can have any roles that you want. And then if you have multiple offices, dynamically we'll figure out who the office admin and the managing broker is of that particular office and assign the tasks to them specifically. So you'll get the actual person responsible. And then Mario Keating, for example, can log in and see not only all of his tasks for Michelle, but he can go to a different report and see all of the tasks across all the agents that he's helping to onboard. So if you're onboarding, 2 or 3 or 4 or a dozen people at a time, then it's helpful to have those reports where you can pull up all the tasks for all the different people that are onboarding simultaneously. And in addition, we already showed you the more LMS or learning style onboarding. This would be more for what the agent would go through. And these are a little more multimedia friendly onboarding. And this would be where you load in your videos like we talked about, any kind of forms that you want them to fill out, any kind of PDFs you want them to read and acknowledge, and so on. So we went through a lot of these already. And so this is the outline of your onboarding that the agent will see, whereas the project tracking system used in the onboarding sense will have all of the 150 tasks that your organization goes through every time you onboard a particular agent. This provides that accountability layer and that ability to see what's been completed and what's still outstanding. In the business numbers area, we talked about that, but this is for the single agent. You can see their numbers. If you're entering data by hand, you can enter it into a spreadsheet style grid, or you can have the agent enter their own data. But generally speaking, we'll pull this data from a data source from SkySlope or from Dash if you're in Realogy, or some other platform that has your transactions in there. And so we'll pull those in that way. And then the sales activity tracker, we discussed this already, but we provide, down at the agent level, you'll be able to see all the activities that the agent has gone through. You'll have graphs that'll show you the data. You'll be able to, if you're with them in a meeting and you want to update some data, you'll be able to update it directly in the system. And you can use this scorecard to look at their data on a weekly, monthly, quarterly, or year-to-date basis. I'm going to slide my screen over, and the agent view also has similar information as to what you saw on the agent profile or agent dashboard on the from the coaching perspective. It's just that for agents, we try not to show the menu. We try to keep it really simple in terms of having them see only the things they need to see. So once again, we can turn on and off any of these tools. We can reorder them and reprioritize them based on your priorities as an organization. You can use messaging between the agent and the manager. You can have them see their onboarding and task lists and so on. So again, the agent view will be everything they need in a single dashboard, ideally, and as needed, they can drill into the various details and see their numbers or see their details and go micro, or they can just go back to their dashboard and see everything in one snapshot. So that's our basic overview. And if you have any questions or would like to set up a screen share or a Zoom call to go over your specific needs, the links are provided either in the comments or there should be a button on the screen to book the time with us. So we look forward to speaking with you. Thank you.